I will take it home. Get tons.
All right. So our topic is flamenco, and we actually, so Sylvester and I chose to present together because I studied flamenco guitar and he studied flamenco voice. I just want to specify that all three of the participants in today's presentation are brand new to flamenco. I am brand new to guitar, actually, so I studied guitar specifically for this project. And our awesome euphonium player also studied voice for this project. So we're all doing a little something new. And Tiffany was so amazing in stepping in. She has dance experience, but flamenco is also new to her as well.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, so this was a new experience for all of us. We're gonna perform and then talk about it.
And I will be obnoxious and set a timer, but I'm being Would anyone like to do this one? Thank you. Thank you.
En el café de chinitas dijo Padre a su hermano. En el café de chinitas Padre a su hermano. Soy más valiente que tú, más torero y más gitano. Soy más valiente que tú, más torero y más gitano. Torero. En el café de chinita.
Sorry.
Ah,
Again, sorry. Again.
en el café de chinita. En el
Now in flamenco, the dancers are actually considered musicians in their own right because they create intrinsic rhythms that vary throughout the piece. The three elements actually present different parts, I guess, of flamenco as a whole. It is very much a community event. So people that come in off the street can create their own rhythms as well. It's very much a like come as you are, come contribute what you can. The dancers themselves, as you noticed, Tiffany was creating rhythms with both her feet, snaps and claps, and these all kind of circle around a 3-3-2-2-2 rhythmic pattern that I was also trying to emulate a little bit in the guitar. With the guitar piece, there was also 3 different elements I tried to incorporate. One of them is called piccato, which is the little scale thing I played. It's usually quite virtuosic and amazing, maybe in time. Then the actual strumming itself is incredibly percussive. And during my lessons, my teacher kept telling me to be more aggressive because I was too ginger with the strings. As a viola player, it was a little hard getting my fingers a little bit more accustomed to the size of the strings. That was a little bit of a culture shock, but it was a lot of fun. And of course, the voice has so much beautiful Baroque ornamentation, if you want to talk about that.
So yeah, so there's the 3 parts of the flamenco are cante, toque, and baile. So she would be a bailarina, a tocadora, and I'd be a cantaora. And yeah, so with the voice, the whole point of the art form is to communicate passion, joy, grief, or pain. So very visceral emotions, and it's communicated through rubato, which I tried to do like in that first section. Insistence on certain notes, and then use of Baroque ornamentation. So the if I can remember all the names. I was saying, as a euphonia player, we don't do a whole lot with Baroque ornamentation. Like almost like an appositor, that effect. The trill, of course, cafe, and then the turnitas, adding that in. One important thing to note about the expressionism is that as in a lot of cultures, your main goal is not the absolute most beautiful sound, which is kind of our, like, that's our Western paradigm, is like, you know, as band directors, don't play louder than you can do with a good sound. You know, you gotta say that. But for us, you know, there is the ability to push your tone a little bit, and it even talks about either like a sort of a hoarse quality or a strained quality. And even with the toque, it was saying like you place where you play a little bit closer to the closer to the bridge.
Mm-hmm. So instead of being back here, it's like here-ish. Mm-hmm. Which I also had trouble getting used to the scale because in flamenco they have their own scale. It's called the Andalusian scale, which is specific to the region where it came from. And interestingly enough, it actually takes from several different cultures. This is not just, even though it originated in Spain, it was actually pulled from the Jewish cultures nearby, as well as a lot of the Roma people, which is their version of saying gypsy because they were very nomadic and they moved around quite a bit. Actually, in Tiffany's wardrobe today, we can see a lot of the original elements, and they still use that. They still use that today in the presentation. The scarf was worn for modesty, but also it was cold, so before. And the skirt is used to accent particular beats. So at certain points, if you saw her lift it and hit, it was used as like a flourish as well. Traditionally in flamenco, the dancers were originally female, and actually the guitarists were almost entirely male. That wasn't until recently that they started venturing out and like breaking the gender norms there.
One thing that I was really hoping to show off was like when we all went to NITAPIS, Tiffany and me and Kay, and we saw so much, like the dancers contribute so much to the rhythm as musicians, not just you know the physical aspect, but we wanted to also show you sort of the improvisational state. There were two like male cantauras, and then the guy was also the tocador, and then there was the 2 female ballerinas. And while the other people weren't featured, they were still performing. They were clapping, they were snapping, the dancers were creating rhythms, and then the singers were interacting with them. So it was very cool, and to me it was very much like almost like a jazz kind of situation, because you have the tocador doing the rhythmic backgrounds going. Maybe the singer is doing like steady beat kind of thing, and then the two dancers are out there creating all these rhythms and stuff over top of that background. And the last thing that I wanted to also say was, and we should have said this earlier, as audience participation is welcome. They want you to yell. Like the goal of a good flamenco band per se is to get an ole from the audience. So that's we should have said that. An ole or yell or shout. And we're supposed to say ole to each other and like encourage. It's all about everybody to jump in and yeah. So that's a big part of the art form.
And actually, as he was mentioning, that it's so closely related to jazz. Most of our piece was actually improvisational, based on the Andalusian scale. So yes. Sorry. Oh, I thought you just went like that. Oh, 1 minute. Okay. Anyway,
my dance was improvised as well.
yeah.
And were there any questions?